Hello everyone, and what is going on? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7 Part 52. Let's go to the World Circuits for a recap from Part 51, as I've been entered to be in Americas by having 3 racetracks by having 1 layout in Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Tri-Oval and Infield A has now entered to be proceed to have some more farming work to do some more currency credits. So I have highlighted to be checked to be start out on Northern Iso Speedway to be in the first one, second Blue Moon Bay Speedway, and the third WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, as I'm about to be going over to be on 2 race course by having 3 layouts in Willow Springs International Raceway and Trail Mountain Circuit for do the best part to be having a very good time to be race around in California to be in America. So let's go and do another round in circuit experience, and this time 3 racetrack by the layouts will go depends on different size. The large one is for the big Willow to be using with the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 3, medium in streets of Willow Springs by using the Ford Mustang Group 4, and for the small, the Horse Deep Mile by using the Lancia Delta will be get started out by having 2 sectors including a 1-lap time attack. Will have to go elevation to have a very good place ever since to be opened in 2003 for the Horse Deep Mile. The Horse Deep Mile, sometimes called the Mile, is a 1-mile paved road course featuring 11 turns as well as numerous elevation changes. It was designed to simulate a winding open road. Maybe I could probably have to go in and drive a very good road car besides using the Nissan GT-R Group 4 from GT Sports. But first time ever to see how a road car can actually gonna have to be driving in and go for doing a different changes to see how the records is gonna be quite actually to be well made to do it. But of course it is, folks, because different cars comes in to have some different challenges when you're in the Horse Deep Mile. Starting up to have the first sector, we'll have 38.2 seconds in the goal, and sector 2 to be at 28.5 seconds. So let's go and get yourself prepared to have the first and second hairpin to going by the elevation. But it is going to be quite very challenging to see how a Delta HF Integrate Evolution Sione 91 is going to be quite packed up to be at 414 performance point with 209 horsepower with 2,976 pounds. That will have to take much more fine, easy moment to see how one road car can actually have to take on in the Horse Deep Mile to see how 11 turns is becoming much more pretty simple as possible. So let's get ready to roll. Timer starts right now to be in the first sector. Watch yourself, because this is going to get much more tougher to have the first turn to go hard rights. Going up the hill to be at turn number 2. Brake zone is going to have to be much more necessarily. Going down. Now here comes hairpin number 2. Okay, looks like now this is going to be a very tough moment out there to see how the first and second sectors in the Horse Deep Mile turns out to becoming very exactly to have the first turn will go like this. For example, because the highlight will have to be much more situated to see how the first and second turn before coming in to be at the first hairpin. Gonna have to go and do the brake position right over here. Outside and inside is very much more harder to do some competent skills in motion by climbing up the hill and go down the hill as well. Here comes hairpin 2. Slow and steady as it goes. So that's what happens when you're in the first sector. Just gonna have to try to go harder to have that gold record. But in the meantime, because I ended up in bronze in 39.116 seconds in the first attempt. Gonna have to go again for attempt number 2 to see how it turns out to face that first turn to go sharper and very elevated to go climb up the hill. So let's try this again, and gonna have to drive carefully. Alright, very good short straightaway. Now, do the outside before it squeeze onto the inside. Gonna have to go box in. Catch up the ghost car is gonna be very tricky to go for the small course. So very close. 38 seconds to have .2 by 55 seconds. Silver is now clear on the sector. Gonna have to go hard again. Oh, and by the way, because the tires has been currently used with the comfort medium, so it'll have to be much more fine safety measures to see how the Delta can actually have to go for a whole new challenge. Gonna have to go for attempt number 3. Okay, very good. Stay focused to be on the first hairpin by entered in turn 2. Going down in hairpin number 2 at turn 3. Very good. Very excellent. And go clear in the first sector. 37.810 seconds. Not too shabby, but sometimes it is going to be very harder to do some elevation to drive up and go increase acceleration when you're using the comfort tires. That's one replay down. Next up, Sector 2. So Sector 2 takes place when you're entered in hairpin number 2 before proceed on to hairpin number 3. So just going to make sure to try to find your line and gonna have to do much correctly to have some tight turns to go elevation to be doing some tight changes. Gonna have to drive careful onto hairpin number 4. Hairpin number 5 coming in. Go hard right, steady as it goes. Wow, looks like this is gonna be quite very hard and pretty simple. 27.717 seconds. Very good job, but sometimes because the numerous elevation changes is going to be very harder as it looks. So I have to be always going to have to skip the replay and save it as well. Alright, here comes a one lap attack by having 1 minute 5.6 seconds to give everything what we got after clearing from 2 sectors, including 5 hairpins, is going to be very tight, tricky to go situation. Ever since we've been participating from the test season from the Nations Cup by using the Gran Turismo 125 shifter, is going to be quite doing the first time ever to see how one go-kart can actually have to go formation. But it was a lot of fun, but I know this is going to be quite very harder to be very more careful when we're facing up on some elevation and some tight situations to go for some tight strategies. So gonna have to be much more careful to be on the first turn. Coming in on to the short straightaway to be at turn 2. Have that good inside position. Going down. Here comes turn 3 at the second hairpin. Steady as it goes. Keep a good foot on the gas. The Ghost Delta is still actually gonna have to do some more skills to keep up onto the paved strategy. That's hairpin 3. Now for hairpin number 4. Come on, gonna have to keep a good forward onto hairpin number 5. Okay, 5 seconds. Gonna have to do a count and saved by the bell. 1 minute, 5.125 seconds is now clear in the goal. Excellent. Horse deep mile in the small side has been cleared. Very excellent. So very excellent, and see a good moment to be on the replay. So you see, folks, the Horse Deep Mile is actually a beginner's course to be driving on a small course, was actually to be made in 2003. And FYI, because the Big Willow was actually to be created in 1953, because it is going to be quite very good and legendary to be dropping around to have the Big Willow before the Streets of Willow is now putting up to have some new layout to be established in 2003. But it also has all kinds of different layouts on Streets of Willow to be on the extended, long course, and exactly to be originally to be made from 1988. So you should probably have to check it out on Wikipedia about the track, because it always about to have 3 layouts as well to see how the different courses is going to be putting up with some tight turns and some good skills for every car automotives. So now here comes the 5th hairpin to be moving on before going down at the final corner. But I just took a whole lot of thinking strategy to see how the Lancia Delta is actually going to have to take a perfect gold record in about the same time in 1 minute 5 seconds is now currently to go improved by the decimal to be at 0.125. That's how it is going to be quite very good to start out to be on the easy track to go for the small course, but the tougher times is going to get much more necessarily to have this part of the racing ejected. So let's go exit out. 42,000 credits is now start out to be on the first day. Bronze clear. And gold to have 600,000 credits. Brilliant and very awesome. 1 course down, 2 to go in Willow Springs, you guys. That's how the sides are also meant to be going clearly to be growing up and have a very good place to be on the horse deep mile in a small track. So let's go to be on the medium track in Streets of Willow Springs by using the Ford Mustang Group 4 by having 4 sectors including a 1-lap attack. Just like Gran Turismo Sport all over again, but this time 2 race cars and a road car in 1 location with 3 layouts separate altogether to see how challenges will be going usual, and a whole new possibility will have to come in to have some different perspective. The Streets of Willow Springs, commonly called the Streets of Willow or sometimes Streets, is a 1.8 mile paved road course. The track itself was being repaved in late 2021 after numerous complaints about the quality of the track. But that's how the track itself just barely putting up to have the same layout and going well established to see how the extended course is currently to see how different layouts and variation to have 16 turns ever since from 2003. But originally to have the Streets of Willow to be on the long course was established from 1988 and currently into the present. So let's start out to be in the first sector by having turn 1 and 2 before coming in at the finish line near at turn 3. So let's drive and get yourself prepared to have that Ford Mustang Group 4. 3 seconds and go straight away to have a very good sunset view to be moving on to have the finish line to be on a better view. Okay, gonna have to go and take turn 2. Slow and steady as it goes. So if anything happens, because hard times to enter in turn 1 and 2, you end up onto bronze. So you're gonna have to try harder before you're gonna have to go for doing the next attempt. 16.8 seconds to be in the first sector is all about just gonna have to do the main objective for this part of today's video segment, folks. There goes the apex, and there it goes. Hard but simple. 16.761 seconds is now clear in the goal by a new record. Truly on the first sector, now it'll have to take much more fine, harder efforts to face turn 1 and pull the brake at turn 2. So here I am. Position number 8 in the France ranking is now marked on to be updated. Moving on in Sector 2. Sector 2 is going to be take place to be start out to be on turn number 2 before going down onto turn 3. Turn 4 and 5 and 6 is actually to be as a very tricky simple course will go complex before going to have to be moving on in turn number 7 at the finish line. Gold record objective to be at 19.4 seconds to get 3 rewards all at once to have some more currency credits. Just gonna have to do the map and find some good strategy to go inside to have the break zone. We'll find your line. There goes turn 3. Gonna have to stay on the RPM. Going forward to take turn 4. The trickier as it goes, the cones are about to be set up as a highlighted barrier to go invisible. Alright, not so clever and very hard as a rock. 19.271 seconds is now cleared in sector 2. Let's just gonna have to skip the replay for this moment, so I could probably have to save it for my main log in the library. Moving on in sector 3. Sector 3 is much more fine, simple, and complicated to have turn 7 and 8 will have to go straight away to have a very good short time to be reached up onto the finish line. Gold record objective to be at 16.2 seconds. As always, that you might have to get some more earnings and some more currency credits to get up to have a 100% goal complete to be able in the medium track layout. So let's find out and go right ahead to have turn number 8 will be rolling out. Alright, very good job. First attempt clear. 15.537 seconds to ride around on turn 7 and 8. Good job and very excellent to see how this course come in handy to see how one Group 4 car can actually have to take that limit up to the test. But in the meantime, because this replay will have to give the example on how to beat Sector 3 is very much more fine competent to go easy as a pie. That should be it for now. Replay saved, exit out, moving on in Sector 4. Sector 4 is the most hardest part yet to have. The final turn is going to be very much more tricky to face up with some consecutive turns, including the last turn before moving on to take the next lap right at the pit stop to go entrance to be on the left side. Gold record to have 23.8 seconds as the main objectives, so you guys gonna have to be much more careful to avoid getting off the track or hitting by a cone doesn't count to see what it is. So let's find out and gonna have to go rev up to the limit. So you see folks, the fourth sector is a very hard complexity to see how the tricky turns is going to be very much more extremely consecutive to go advance. So you might have to go harder and going to have to step up and do your best out there to see how the gold record time is going to be very much more tricky. The first attempt has cleared by a silver in 23.848 seconds. Now I have to go again before taking attempt number 2. So let's try this again and see how it goes. Alright, very good. Now for the final turn, gonna have to keep it good wide open. Alright, there we go. 23.380 seconds. All clear in Sector 4. Now for the one lap attack, it's going to get much more harder and going intermediate. So replay saved. Place to be on second in the friends ranking. Alright. So it'll have to be much more fine harder to have that full course to be in the streets of Willow Springs for only one lap to have every part of the turns that has 16 corners is going to be very much more tricky to go harder and very advanced difficult for every Group 4 race cars. Especially real car category as well to see it. So just gonna have to get that gold record in 1 minute 14.2 seconds to have total amount of earnings. We'll have to go combined order. So I have to keep it up and find out to see how it goes. So let's go. One lap time attack is about to go for the rush. Okay, here comes turn 2. Gonna have to keep going. Pull the brake on turn 3. Follow the inside of the apex before going in onto turn 4 and 5 because it's gonna get much more fine consecutive tricky corners. We'll do some more practice. Alright, turn 6 clear. Moving on in sector 3. Very close call. Now go for the hard part to be on the main straightaway to go advance and face up to go for the gauntlet. Watch it for the cones. Come on, just gonna have to keep a good final turn to go wide open. And there you go. I just took one lap time attack clear in the streets of Willow by having 1 minute 13.339 seconds. I truly own the course and good to go. Medium-sized track of Willow Springs International Raceway has complete, but it's not yet over because the big Willow will be coming up soon before having that 4th replay to be part of it. Or especially to have the 5th replay after clearing the Horse Deep Mile onto the same track in same location. But there you go. 54,000 credits is now adding up to go by some extra earnings. Bronze clear by 100,000 credits. And all gold is clear by 500,000 credits, makes a total amount of combination to be at 600,000 credits. Very good job and well impressive to do some basic workout to get to know about the track. But in the meantime, because the best one ever yet to have, Big Willow, will be taking with 9 turns, will have to be all together to get the same earnings, will be currently to be driving onto the large track. Next up, the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 3 will take on in the Big Willow again in Circuit Experience. 3 sectors, 1 lap time attack, and 9 corners will be well known to pronounce its name. So it is going to be quite very amazing to see how the paved road course consisting of 9 turns. By starting out in turn number 1 to be at the Castro corner, a 90-degree high-speed left-handed turn before moving on in turn 2. The rabbit's ear is a double apex sweeping turn as you're about to go entered in turn 3 and 4 is the Omega, an uphill and downhill session with a camber change. After taking turn 3 and 4, turn 5 is going to be a quick left-handed turn that set up the fastest sections of the track before moving on in the Monroe Ridge in turn 6. Turn 7 is the repass pass before going to have to be swooped up and go enter to be at turn number 8 as the sweeper. A high-speed right-hand corner is going to be the lead-in to this turn is the fastest section of the racetrack before the final corner in turn 9 is the right-handed turn with a big dip before the apex. Final moment to be on turn 9 is going to be very great straightaway forward to be on the finish line. So let's begin for second 1 to take turn 1 at the Castro corner. 22.9 seconds in the goal ejected. Just gonna see how it goes. Going clear. Stay on the tarmac before going in onto turn 2. Double speeded apex, so you're gonna have to catch up and do perfect practice to see how you can probably have to get handle about the track. Alright, Castro corner and Rabbit's Ear clear. Gold record to be in 22.633 seconds. Amazing job. Now for sector 2 is going to be having turn 3 and 4 is the Omega. Along with turn 5 is going to be a quick left-handed turn that set up the fastest sections of the track. So let's move on in sector 2. This part of the sector is all about just going to go forward to take the Omega and a quick left-handed turn that set up the fastest sections on the track before going in on to turn 6 is going to be at the Monroe Ridge. Gonna have to make sure to keep it up and take several turns to be entered in turn number 3 to turn 6 in sector 2. Time to go Alpha, and the turn is the Omega. There goes turn 5, gonna take it, and reached up towards the Monroe in turn 6. There we go, piece of cake, gold record cleared in 25.855 seconds. That's the ticket. Now for turn 7 through 9 is going to be the most hardest part ever yet to go easy and very much more difficult for the risk. But sometimes it is going to be quite very excellent to see how many Gran Turismo players who have been actually did a good job out there to be racing in the Big Willow of Willow Springs International Raceway ever since from the 2022 World Finals in Monaco by using the Suzuki B6 Escudo Pikes Peak Special 98 as now specified to be as a Nations Cup livery. But of course it is because the special video will have to be planned by coming soon until now. But I've been working so very hard to see how the development for my own progress will have to take some time and go for some long delays. So here I go, we're taking sector 3 folks, 22.9 seconds is now go for the goal ejected. Time to go sweeper at turn 8. Here comes turn 9, is going to be the hardest part. Go hard right, don't get off the track, and have a good aim on the apex before moving on to take the finish line to be on the final stretch. Good job, and clear for sector 3 as the main example. So better make sure to have the maintained speed will go moderation, but whenever it happens, because having too much aggressive to avoid getting off the track is going to be a very tough effort out there when you're in turn number 9 after clearing from turn 8. So replay cleared, position number 4 in the French ranking to be at 22.746 seconds. Alright, gonna have to be ready, and this time it's about to go hard and focus on the gold record objective before coming in to be at the first turn at the Castro corner. Turn 1 clear, here comes the rabbit's ear on turn 2. Keep a good hold on the throttle, save some good push, and then coming in on to turn 3 by the Omega. Okay, very good. Turn 3 clear. Now going for turn 4. Here comes turn 5. Gonna have to stay harder and keep a good line strategy to be in the main formation. Sector 3, here I come. It's about to go harder and more quicker as it goes. Ride the final corner in turn 9. Alright, there you go. Looks like I have mastered the Big Willow once again since Gran Turismo Sport. 1 minute, 12.477 seconds has now complete in a 1 lap time attack. Very good job, and very much more excellent to be pleased. Wow. So I wonder if this is going to be quite very impressive to see how 3 layouts in Willow Springs International Raceway is going to be truly amazing. But I bet it does, because more currency credits and some double times the earnings will be going currently to be at 4 million credits. So time to go exit out, collect 48,000 credits, and there you have it. Same as always will be earned in all bronze and gold to be mastered in the Big Willow onto the same location. But one more course to go before at the end of the video, folks. But as a promise, because I'm still currently to be doing 4 parts in Americas, as I'm about to be planned by having a conclusion. So let's go to Trial Mountain Circuit, folks. Circuit experience, here I come, and full course by using the Mazda RX Vision GT3 Concept 2020. All gold in 800,000 credits and all bronze in 160,000 credits. 4 sectors and 1 lap time attack is going to be quite very perfect place to be here on one of the 3 legendary Gran Turismo racetrack. Is going to be so very beautiful to have this updated course. 2 long straightaways and same part of the complex corners as usual. Just like the Super License from every Gran Turismo titles, is going to be quite doing some best moments to do the first time ever in circuit experience. Just like High Speed Ring and D-Force Raceway from International A License from GT1. So there are some 4 sectors is now having some different records to be on the goal objective. But differently because under 2 minutes is going to be marked on 1 minute 53 seconds is going to be a very best moment out there to be mastered in the trial mountain circuit. So let's go for sector 1 to have that long straightaway to be in the first part by having turn 1 and 2, followed by turn 3 and 4 by entering in the first tunnel, stop at turn number 5, and then the finish line is now clear in the first sector before moving on in sector number 2. Just gonna have to go start out to have the straightaway, grab the RX Vision GT3 Concept, and going in to be in the first turn. The first turn is very much more exactly from the original track from previous Gran Turismo games, but in GT7 it's going to be quite very much more different to see how the same course layout as ever meant to be very useful, of course, because it is going to be quite very good to see how Liberty Digital just redesigned the track itself, just barely turns out to becoming a full Grand Prix track. But there it goes. Silver record time in 31 seconds by a decimal of 0.59. Okay, let's try this again for attempt number 2 after having a full hour of lunch break. Gonna have to stay focused and go for turn 1 and 2 by having a low speed to be on the brake zone. Inside the apex is gonna have to be much more fine necessarily to go tricky before going in onto turn 3. Here comes turn 4 on the tunnel. Go hard left. Coming out towards turn 5. Watch out for the barriers that will have to be immediately disqualified. Will go again. Solid piece of cake. 30.902 seconds is cleared by a new record and goal. Excellent, good job. Good thing it's going to have to take some time for having a full hour break time before going to have to be moving on to do the first sector when I last lapped up to be ended up onto silver. However, because ended up to have 3,000 credits is now being checked and complete before adding up to have 3,000 more to be on the goal. So the first replay is clear. Next up, sector 2 will have to go focusing to have turn number 5 will be going on to the right turn to be at the starting position before going in to be at turn 6 and 7. Turn 8 is going to have to take the one-way ticket to go enter by having 2 tunnels, including the long straightaway in the second part. Gonna have to kick it up and gonna have to go for only 19.5 seconds. We'll have to do the goal objective time, folks. So here I go. Drive carefully, avoid the barriers. Okay, turn 8 clear. Now go for the full straightaway towards the finish line. 19.151 seconds. Good job to be clear in the goal. Now exit out, skip a replay, and save it before moving on in sector 3 in the trial mountain circuit. For many experts of Gran Turismo players who have been successfully to be dominate in the old version of the trial mountain circuit since Gran Turismo 1 to Gran Turismo 6, but here in Gran Turismo 7, the different layout is going to be turns out to have a better background environment by having 2 long straightaways, including the final turn is going to be quite going sharp up to be well extended by the chicane. But this will have to be moving on in Sector 3. Is going to have to take a long straightaway towards turn number 9. We'll have to go up the hill by the elevation to be at turn 10 through 13. But this is going to have to take that finish line before Sector 4 is going to have to take that final chicane. It's about to go by having a 90-degree angle. We'll do some basics and will experience around. So let's find out to see how it does. Go straight away in the second part. Here comes turn number 9 coming in. Slow and steady when you're taking turn 9. Close call. Now go for turn 10 before coming in to be at turn 11 and 12. After you have cleared Sector 2, Sector 3 is going to have to take the long straightaway before coming towards turn number 9, before you can probably have to go enter for this part of the main challenge by 35.7 seconds to be on the goal. Inside cornering is going to be quite very wide open to aim onto the inside of the track before going up to be at turn 10 through 11. Turn 12 is going to be the heavy stopping point, so you're going to have to go right to be on the low speed handling when you're using the RX Vision GT3 concept. There goes turn number 13. Go for the left and have that good scenic view out there to be passed by until moving on to be on the finish line. There. That's how the gold record is now cleared in 35.488 seconds. Is now taking the first attempt clear. So let's exit out. I know what to do because gonna have to be keeping a good safe amount of replay is all I need to do some good memory log. Sector 3 clear. Now for Sector 4 to be on the starting point on turn 13 before going down to be on turn 14 and 15. And turn 16 is going to be the last part to have a 90-degree angle for having a new chicane after the old one was being renovated to have the track itself to become a fully Grand Prix circuit. Gold record time to have 20.7 seconds to get these 3 kinds of credits will be combined together all at once. Gonna have to master the chicane and let's see how it does. 3 seconds, here I come, and going down onto the hill circuit on the tarmac. There's one apex clear. Now going in to take the second apex. Sprint to the finish. Time is about to go running out. 20.399 seconds. Almost to be at 0.4 seconds in around 20 seconds. But congratulations. Gold level cleared. Now for the 1 lap time attack for this part of video segment, it's gonna have to take a long bit by under an hour. Gonna have to skip by the next replay. Alright. It all comes down to this, folks. 1 minute 53 seconds is now gonna have to take 1 lap time attack to master all the turns and elevation around in the Trial Mountain circuit. So let's see how it turns out to see which it is, because the rotary race car concept can probably have to master the turn whenever it takes. Gonna have to be much more careful. Barriers is gonna be a very tough risk. Here comes the first tunnel in turn 4. Keep a good low speed acceleration when you're inside. Now for turn 5, watch yourself. Here comes the first sector, moving on in sector 2. There goes turn 8. Coming in to take the long straightaway in the second run, into the third tunnel. Pack up the good speed, going up into the 6th gear. Turn 9 incoming. Alright, very good job. No scratches, no contact. Moving on in sector 3 to go up to 11 and then stop at turn 12. Very good, excellent, decent line. Now for turn 13. Going down the hill, go hard left. And now for turn 15 through 16 at the chicane. Very longer, but sharper turns will have to be much matter. Gonna have to sprint to the finish line. Reminder time notice in about 1 minute and 53 seconds. And there you go. I just took one lap in 1 minute, 51.257 seconds. Is now cleared and A-OK to master the Trial Mountain circuit. That's how the Mazda RX Vision GT3 concept had passed the test. Very good job. Very good job to have that replay. Will go by the full example to be mastered in this course. For only 4 sectors in circuit experience, because 3 sectors on this track is going to be doing much more excellent basics, just like when you participate in the Super License, as you may ever use the Ford Mustang Shelby GT350R. But this is going to have to take the second time moment for this part of the challenge. It's going to have to take much more one-lap rush around the track to see how the skills to be on different categories like road car and racing car categories to be well separate. But there goes turn, coming in to take the second tunnel before going down onto turn 8. Much more beautiful environment background. Best racetrack and one of the 3 legendary Gran Turismo racetrack to be set and located in the west coast of California in the Sierra Mountains. But man, this track is so very beautiful to have that camera view backgrounds to be on the replay. But I hope I could probably have to race again with my Total Drama OC, so I could probably have to be planned and get organized for having a custom race. For only turn 10 through 12, it's going to have to go up the hill to be stopping in to be on the right turn before going down into turn 13. This is where Nessie lives in to be swimming around in the lake. That's how when turn 14 is now going clear before taking turn 15 and 16 at the new chicane, will go sharp up directly in a 90-degree angle at the right turn. Stopping at turn 16 is very much more fine, decent example, just like racing in Autodrome Lago Maggiore circuit. But I'll have to be there until gonna have to take some progress before gonna have to be moving on to take on in menu book number 39 in the GT World Series, as I'm about to be watching the ending. And that's how having a one-lap attack in the Trial Mountain circuit for the RX Vision GT3 concept will have to be well featured for doing the example car of today. So for the 5th time, alright, looks like 4 sectors including one lap attack is all clear, and that means we have ourselves a good 100% test complete. 51,000 credits, but somehow I just also to be earned by 3,000 credits before I'm about to take a long break. But that should be quite going well, and putting up to have the total amount to be exactly for having a daily workout complete to receive any kinds of roulette ticket. Bronze is cleared by 160,000 credits, and 800,000 credits is now cleared in all gold. That means a total amount is going to be quite going up and making a good combined amount to be at 5 million credits. Well folks, it was a lot of fun out there to have 3 layouts in Willow Springs International Raceway and Trial Mountain Circuit. But I hope it is, because the next part in the full walkthrough in part 53 will be ready to take on into third course in Fisherman's Ranch and Colorado Springs. That is how the third part in the American circuits, as we're about to be going in to be proceed to be at Daytona International Speedway, Michelin Raceway, Road Atlanta, and Watkins Glen International. I'll have to come up with myself, so it'll have to be much more fun specifically to choose any kinds of American racetrack, so I could probably have to start out with. But it was a lot of fun out there to have some more best valuable earnings to go complete in circuit experience. So I had to wrap this up and get myself prepared before moving on in part 53 in the next full walkthrough in the video. So I hope you enjoyed watching on Gran Turismo 7 for my part of the full walkthrough. Thank you for watching. Just make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and click the bell for notifications on upcoming content videos in the later future. I'll be seeing you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.